So guys, Dionne Jackson will state the fact in relation to this current administration building more houses through the NHT than any other administration, but according to Mr. Floyd Morris, he's not seeing those numbers. I mean, he's blind. Probably the better term is I'm not feeling those numbers. With the Braille thing, that was supposed to be a joke anyhow. But I just want you guys to listen this. And it's kind of comical still because the number is out there. The data is out there. So I do not understand why even Mr. Floyd Morris is saying that Dionne Jackson is buying into the JLP propaganda. So the statistic, the empirical evidence that is out there is the JLP propaganda. The empirical data from credible source is the JLP propaganda. Is that what Mr. Floyd Morris is saying? Listen, guys.
Girls in the civil service were able to purchase those lots or houses at a significantly low cost. And those are some of the things that needs to be done.
Yeah,
in
but
order to make our people own their home.
Bear in mind, though, that the data show that under this JLP administration, the NHT has built far more houses than it built under preceding PNP administrations. I mean, the numbers show that.
Well, I don't know where you would get that
go look at the numbers. The numbers show that, Senator.
No, I mean, I am not seeing that data. Where you get that data from?
Come on, I know I have seen that data. That data is very, very clear, and we can go and look at it when we come off here. But that is not debatable.
9 years, NHT has been building on average, putting out in the market less than 3,000 houses.
More than when the PNP was in office, Senator.
Certainly not at all. Because in the 1990s, into the mid 2000s, we were averaging over 6,000 houses.
All right, I tell you what.
That was coming out.
I tell you what, I'm at the break, but between now and tomorrow program, I'll go and find the data.
JLP propaganda.
With the greatest of respect, Senator.
I'm a well-read person, you know.
With the greatest of respect, Senator.
Person.
Thank you. But with the greatest of respect, I look at the numbers and I'm saying to you that I saw numbers showing that the JLP had been building more houses under the current NHT than under previous administrations. But as I said, when we look at the hard data, I'll come back and I will share that tomorrow. Eh? We always appreciate
it. Very few houses were built in the country during the 1980s. So you're
gone far back, man. You're gone way back.
Well, guys, this is the truth, actually. And Mr. Akbar Fitz-Henley is gonna basically outline it for you guys to literally see the numbers. Jamaica Labour Party under Andrew Michael Holness, correction, under Dr. Andrew Michael Holness is a performing government in every way possible. So this is the empirical truth, the data that will debunk Mr. Floyd Morris' claim also that Miss Dionne Jackson is talking about. And guys, you can also visit the NHT website. The information is there in black and white, so we don't know what Mr. Floyd Morris is saying, actually. But I think he needs to be more precise within his reading, his feeling. Listen, guys, I don't want to crack a next joke and people think I'm corny. Listen. And remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment,
Senator Fitz-Henley says the current term of the Holness-led government has resulted in the building of just under 2,000 more houses than the PNP delivered in their last term. Fitz-Henley highlighted data from the NHT which revealed that between 2012 and 2015, just over 12,000 houses were completed by the trust. He says between 2020 and last year, the Holness administration surpassed that figure by a noticeable margin.
But during the current term of the administration between 2020 to the end of 2024, the National Housing Trust, which operates under the auspices of the Office of the Prime Minister, under the leadership of Dr. Holness, has completed the building of 14,136 housing solutions. The fact is, sir, during the current term, this administration, via the National Housing Trust, has built approximately 2,000 more housing solutions when compared to the last term of the PNP administration. So, when the opposition spokesman on housing suggested that this administration has been underperforming compared to what came before, he's not speaking the truth. In fact, the data shows that what he intimated to the Parliament is false.
Senator Fitzhenley acknowledged that much more needs to be done to fulfill the housing needs of Jamaicans.
On the matter of housing, I must add, though, that I am encouraged by a word from the Prime Minister that the administration is focused on making available more houses, in particular to what's referred to as middle or low-income Jamaicans. The quicker we get this done, the better. We acknowledge that more needs to be done in that regard.
Fitzhenley, who was contributing to the State of the Nation debate in Parliament recently, also blasted Senator Morris for criticizing the new social housing program and suggesting that the PNP's Operation Pride program, which was mired in scandal, had delivered credible results.
Over $2 billion, sir, intended to build houses for Jamaicans, were squandered and pilfered under the administration of the PNP. That, sir, is the legacy of the PNP when it comes on to housing in Jamaica. And no effort by the opposition spokesman to adjust the spectacles of history will hide that fact. The fact of the matter is that this administration, the administration of Prime Minister Andrew Holness, is strong on this issue, that the People's Housing Program should not be mired in corruption. Not a dollar of the people's housing money must be squandered to corruption.
Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Before I segue from the issue of housing, I wish to comment on the matter of Operation Pride, because the opposition spokesman on housing again introduced it into the debate, and he suggested that Operation Pride was a good program, a program which was conceptualized under the Patterson administration. He suggested that the program enumerated to the benefit of the people of Jamaica. Well, sir, I have been watching current affairs for many years, more than 2 decades. And that submission to the Parliament by the opposition spokesman, I find to be among the most audacious piece of revisionist history that I've heard uttered in the Parliament. But let me remind Jamaicans who might have not been following current affairs then, what transpired when the then opposition had the opportunity to supply housing to Jamaicans in need. The Operation Pride program was mired in corruption. At least 6 people, including a well-known PNP activist. And to borrow a word Senator Bunting used last week, several PNP cronies were charged with 87 counts of conspiracy to defraud. They were accused under Operation Pride of pilfering, stealing approximately 451 million of taxpayers' monies and putting into the pockets of their PNP cronies.